Hi, everybody. Mayor Lou Manzo here with you. Hope that your summer is going well as we enter August. And I wanted to touch base with you today to make you aware of an exciting project that's coming to town. If you live anywhere in South Jersey and certainly in Gloucester County, you're probably aware of what has become known as the Griswold House in East Greenwich, which is a private residence where a guy decided to decorate his house to replicate the famous Griswold house from the Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation movie. I think it's from 1989, and it's become quite an attraction over the last few years. So, if you haven't heard about it, I want to take a minute to just give you some background. I'm going to play a quick little 2-minute piece off of Action News this past Christmas, where they highlighted it. So sit tight as I bring that up. Watch this to get the background.
From one Christmas movie to another, in fact, a Christmas cult classic has taken over one South Jersey neighborhood. It involves more than 10,000 sparkly lights, an RV stuffed with toy donations, and Clark Griswold with cousin Eddie not far behind. Photojournalist Mike Nikolowski takes us to Clarksboro, where a fun tradition exploded into helping hundreds of families.
I mean, I'm just a guy that put up lights, right? And I've got people crying out here. I've got people thanking me constantly.
Oh my gosh, we love Christmas Vacation. I've watched it since I was a kid with my dad. And this is, talk about uplifting spirits at a time like this. So it's very cool.
I was like, yay! Oh my God. Because it's like all of this brings back the memories of the movie.
I like the movie, but the people that come out here really like the movie. All these vehicles out here are very authentic to the exact year from the movie. That's a 1973 Ford Condor RV, impossible to find. That's a 1986 Ford Taurus out there with the tree on top. And the cop car is a 1984 Crown Vic.
It's just done like so well. It's like really close to the movie, and it's like different than like the other houses on the street.
Wow, it's
beautiful.
Wonderful.
It's Christmas.
It's for the kids, and I lost a nephew at St. Chris about 10 years ago. So for me, this is like in honor of Robbie.
They're doing such good for the kids out there that need it.
It makes me feel really good. I mean, there's a lot of deprived kids, a lot of sick kids. I can't explain the feeling. The feeling is spectacular.
When someone asks me to get engaged on the front lawn, that's pretty cool. A lot of people cry because it was their dad's favorite movie. He's not here anymore. People thank me. It's a great feeling, and never in a million years would I thought, I would create this.
So that's the background. Steve and his wife Gina and their 3 kids, 3 small children. The guy that just put lights on his house, about 3 years ago in 2018. And it began really just from the, decorative perspective and doing something cool. And obviously it morphed where people began bringing toys because people were showing up and it's free. You're driving through his residential neighborhood and people wanted to contribute. So they were bringing toys. They set up boxes. They eventually bought that RV and they were filling the RV up with toys. And then people began donating money right on site. If they went and parked somewhere locally and near Steve's house, they could walk up and they were putting money in a jar, and then they created an online option to contribute to this cause where they were buying toys. They associated themselves with Toys for Tots in that first year, and that has only continued to grow that relationship to the point where by 2020, last year, it had gotten so big that they collected like $12,000 worth of toys and almost $40,000 in cash. Incredible. So they knew that they could do more with those donations. They could, buy toys, but they wanted to do more. And then, so through contacts that they had in the social services world, they found a family, a single mom with 7 kids that were basically homeless and living in 2 motel rooms. And this past March, they were able to hand that mom the keys to a house with the rent and all utilities and expenses paid for 1 year. Just incredible. So clearly the cause had been created. And I guess if I fast forward a little bit, we knew Steve already because by trade, he's a commercial developer and a residential home builder, and he has done projects in Harrison Township. So at Tomlin Station Commerce Center, back behind the Inspira Urgent Care on the corner there, that entire bank of commercial properties, which is like, Spaceworks and Stride Physical Therapy and Foot and Ankle Doctor there. He built that entire project. So we were already well aware, the type of project that he builds and the high quality that you end up with, and the ease at which working with him, which, working with developers over the years, trust me, he's an ace. So we knew this already and knew him already. He came to us in February of this year and said, this Griswold House thing has really gotten a little bit out of control. And I don't want to just stop it and end it because of the traffic that it creates in my private cul-de-sac, private home, because of the cause that now is connected to it. He goes, so I'm looking for, somewhere in the area to be able to create a separate venue that becomes a destination that includes, and continues this tradition. So we liked the idea, thought that made sense, and we said, well, come back to us with an idea of what you're talking about. So a week later, he came back with what I'll say was his vision. He basically was just pulling, things off the internet to kind of give us a vision of what he really thought that he would, pull together and create there. So if I share my screen with you once again, I'm going to show you what he came back to us with. Probably, that was probably in March sometime, I would say, is when that occurred. So give me a second. And that was this. He was using kind of a European, Bavarian Christmas village concept, the village look of whatever buildings or facades he would put up. An ice skating rink, obviously the Harbaugh toy drive house would be there. These little huts with hot chocolate. And the thing that we really liked was that any, these stalls that he was talking about creating would be stalls for local businesses. So it would be another way to enhance and expand and embellish our existing business community, not create competition for them, because the idea, and Steve's idea, was to have businesses from Harrison Township, Mullica Hill, be, the individuals and the businesses that are in these stalls. So we love that idea. So we said, okay, we think that this makes sense. You need to now go back and, tell us exactly, what this might look like and where it would lay out. We had, at that point designated an area of township property where we thought this project might work. So we gave Steve a little bit of time, and I think within 2 weeks or so, sometime in March, he came back to us and showed us a layout of really what he was talking about. And so we looked at that. We loved the idea on all levels, the philanthropic aspect of it, the enhancement of our business community aspect of it, and creating a destination in Harrison Township and Mullica Hill where, that would also help our business owners, and certainly being affiliated with this, in our community. We liked all of that. So that was probably March. Going into April, we had to go through a legal process of, putting out an announcement and, allowing anyone to bid on such a project. This is a completely privately funded project. The only thing that is involved is we are using township property that we will lease to the individual. And just like we do with a farmer, where we own property in town and we lease property every year to farmers that, farm that soil. This would be a similar setup. So the reason I'm coming to you today is to announce that officially, 2 weeks ago at our meeting, township community meeting, we awarded this project to what will become Harbaugh Village. And over these next few weeks, you're going to see dirt moving in this area, and I wanted to share with you what that will look like. Again, I'm going to share my screen. Excuse me if it takes me a minute, because I'm not perfectly adept at this, but I'm getting pretty good. This is a view of where this project will go. This is Route 77. Let me zoom out a little bit and show you what I'm talking about. This is the ShopRite. This is Mullica Hill Commons with marinos in it. Across the street is the large parcel with the water tower next to Ella Harris Park. The connecting road for the short term until there is an entrance approved on Route 77 will come from our Ella Harris parking lot, come all the way across, and go back into this area if you're looking at it from Route 77, to the left corner next to the water tower. And if we look at a closer view of this, this is going to include an ice skating rink, a carousel, the meandering shop area, which there'll be a version of that this first year, but obviously that will expand and become much more grandiose over time. In this area will be these stalls that might have hot chocolate. These little circles are something really cool. These little glass heated igloos. So in the winter months when it's cold outside and you might go ice skating, you could buy some hot chocolate and something to eat that might be available, and you're going to be able to sit in these kind of cool glass igloos. And then obviously this will funnel back into what will become the Griswold facade. It'll look exactly like the Griswold house. Keep in mind that at the Christmas season, it'll look like that. In January and February, there'll be ice skating here. But then it will close down and open at various points during the year, maybe at Easter time for, Easter bunny, Easter egg hunt and things like that. And certainly in the fall, as we get into the Halloween season and then morphing and transitioning into the Thanksgiving season and then back into the Christmas season, this village will take on different looks, and it will be decorated for Christmas during Christmas, but be decorated otherwise at other points in the season. So this is an overview, which will include the ability to park and, go through this entire village and take in everything. If I stop sharing my screen now and come back. Obviously, we're very excited about this. There's several reasons. First of all, to give another reason for individuals to come to Mullica Hill and Harrison Township and shop here, it's a benefit to our existing business owners, and especially since this is meant to be an extension of those business owners. So there will be little kiosk versions of Mullica Hill and Harrison Township businesses, food trucks, if that's something that you have that could be out there. And that's all. Those conversations are all taking place in these weeks between now and the end of the year, to kind of shore all that up. We're excited about, the connection to such a wonderful cause like this with our community. We want to be able to support that. And obviously we know that that's such a wonderful, worthwhile cause. And, the amazing thing is that Steve told us right off the bat that he wanted to have this up and running for this Christmas season, 2021. So you got about the next 10, 12 weeks or so to make this happen. And it might be a not completely, completed version of this. Certainly the village area won't be complete, and that will continue to develop and evolve over the next year or so. But the ice skating rink, the carousel, the Griswold house, some of these, huts with retail options to, go shopping, and certainly eateries for hot chocolate and food trucks and so forth. That's all going to be there this year. And the objective is to have the grand opening ribbon cutting of this Harbaugh Village take place on the Friday night after Thanksgiving, which is the kickoff to our Miracle on Main, weekend with Lights on Main on Saturday night and the kickoff of the holiday season. So we are excited to see this project come to fruition. I wanted to give you some insight to what's happening as you see dirt to start to move out there by the water tower, and you'll know what it is. So I hope you'll join with me in supporting this. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your summer. And I look forward to seeing you out there. Take care.